Why did we stop? I don't know, dude. I wasn't asking you, Commodore. I was asking our teacher. My dad? Yeah. You'll see. Everyone out. I hope I'm not the only one who's worried. Oh, trust me, you're not. I got a bad feeling about this. Oh, no kidding. I'm Mandalay, and I'm We Anime. How you been? Hope you've all been doing well. I know I'm gonna explain some things before we actually get into the actual episode. Um, okay. So better audio quality, as you can probably hear. New mic. Not an actual mic yet, but soon. Maybe. Don't get your hopes up. Um, I recorded this on Wednesday. Um, right. Recorded it, went to upload it. It never did, so I tried it again. It never did that time. Tried it again, never did. So I'm just gonna re-record it and hope for the best. Um, yeah. Uh, that's really it. Honestly, I hope this one goes up, but there's no guarantee, especially if it goes over an hour. So, yeah. Um, Originally, I was gonna plan on just like cutting it up into two like videos. Then I thought no one's gonna watch two videos on the like same like arc. Most likely not, right? So I never did that. I just decided I'm gonna just record the new part and hope for the best. Also, I would get to test out and hear your all's opinions on my new mic. See if it sounds better, more clear. I know it kind of does, right? Um, there are going to be some parts in this what if, in this part, that will probably be, you might want to skip them just because sensitive topics might come up for a couple reasons. You will know in a minute. But yeah, Forest Training Camp is today. And yeah, background noise may be apparent. I'm not entirely sure. Mostly because I don't know how much of this mic can hear. I did a little bit of a test before I actually started this video. But who knows on what's actually going to happen, right? But once again, we're going over the Forest Training Camp arc, and yeah. So without further ado, let's get into it. First, I'm gonna get a drink of water, and then we can officially get into this video. So yeah, the Wild Wowie, wow 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 wow, the Wild 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 Pussycats would introduce themselves, at least half of the team. Mandalay and Pixie Bob, while Tiger and Ragdoll would be at the actual main place waiting for 1B. 1A would be stumped because, well, Aizo. We all know how he is. And after stopping there, everyone getting off, Mineta having to use the bathroom really bad. Um, Izuku would walk over to like the guardrail, and just kind of look back at the like three like heroes, like actual heroes. Look over, look at the heroes, look over, look at the heroes, and then look over one more time, and then look like like only like take a couple feet away from it, and he would say, "Are you all trying to drop us off of this?" And then a hole would open up under him. It would be type of like a Looney Tunes type deal on how he would look down and then look back up, and then he would start to just say, "Hold on, is it 5 minutes in?" See, on 5 minutes in, you don't get demonetized or like in trouble for cussing bad words. Do I just wait a minute? Okay, cool. He would go to say, "Oh, she," and then just dropped, just, and then you could just hear like a Wilhelm type scream, and then just a, just a smack on the ground, and the hole would open, well, unopen, close. That's what it is. That's the word. It would close, right? Um, Shinso would run over, look down, and he would yell down, "Hey, you okay?" And only a groan is what you'd hear. Just a, like a semi like gasping air type groan that would clearly be at the verge of tears. I should also mention they're not in their. I did a little bit different than I usually do. They're not in their like not in their school uniform. They're in just their regular clothes, different styles for everybody. Not from like canon, but Izuku would be wearing a white jacket with the sleeves stopping at the mid forearms, kind of like Yuta Okotsu from Jujutsu Kaisen, basically like that type of jacket, wearing a tank top underneath, like a black brown tank top. Brown sweatpants and black shoes is what he would be wearing. That's it. Bro's a quite. He looked good. His hairstyle would be like a kind of like a secretary's, like a comical like secretary, like the bun and then the bangs just going down only to, like a little bit to cover the forehead, kind of like that. Okay, right. That's how his hair would be. Now it clearly is messed up. The bun is off, just down. Aizawa would look at Pixie Bob and say, "I was just gonna do them all at the same time to give them all like a little bit of time. You didn't have to drop just one. You didn't have to. Why did you do that?" She would be like shocked because she thought, "Oh, he's just gonna float back. Like he's just gonna float. He has a gravity quirk." She would be like, "Oh no, I just injured a kid. Not again. Not again." Uh, Training? He does have to get his reflexes up. That still doesn't mean you gotta drop him off of the cliff. That was like a 30, 25 feet drop. Probably a little bit more, given that he wasn't on the like edge that you could slide down on. Sorry? Well, drop the rest at least. Wait, what? Boom! Just the entire like side of the cliff just down. Guardrail just kind of just floating there. I mean, it's still like attached to the other like pieces of like guardrail, but it's kind of just there now. Okay. I'll get the bus. Um, uh, they would just travel through the forest as they do in canon after being told what to do by Aizawa. And the whole entire thing about by the time you get, depending on the time you get there, you might have to cook your own food. Like that similar basis of stuff. But after everyone would be done, well, already down, right? Um, like as they would already be down, slid down, already down off the mountain, a couple people would be in a stack. Todoroki at the bottom, um, Denki, no, not Denki, Kirishima, um, Momojiro. That's it. So everyone would start to get off. Kirishima, then, well, Shoto would stand up, and then you'd hear, "Oh, finally!" Like not finally, like a. Todoroki would bend down, just start wiping dirt off of Izuku's face, who they all landed on. Oh, joy! Thanks. Are you all right, Midoriya? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah. I just need a little help up. Yeah, just a little bit. Kirishima and him would help him up. Uh, you know, I genuinely thought that you all weren't, like, no offense. I thought you all wouldn't be that heavy. I also didn't expect to get landed on. My ribs hurt so bad. So bad. Anyways, they would head through the forest a little bit earlier than in canon. Maybe like um uh maybe like an hour 45 less. I'm decently sure they got there at like 6 o'clock ish, somewhere near there. Probably a little bit like later, 6 o'clock, closer to 7. I'm not making no, you know what joke. Okay, I'm not trying to. This is just generally what is happening on top of my head. Um, I'm decently sure that's how that was. I think. I think they were like around 6 or 7 o'clock, maybe closer to 7, but still in like the 6 o'clock marking. I think. I'm not entirely sure, but even so, they'd still make it a little bit earlier, right? Than in canon, since they do have 21 students out of when they were only when they would only have six, not six, 20 students, right? Everyone is still in the class, Shinso and Izuku included. Well, Shinso is in the class now too, alongside everyone else. Okay, so yeah, no one is missing out. Yeah, eventually making it there. Everyone introducing themselves. Izuku would walk up to Koda and say, "Hi, what's your name?" "I'm Koda." "Hi, my name's Izuku Midoriya." He would go for a handshake as he would say, "I'm training to be a hero." And then he would get punched in the nuts. And then Ito would rush up and say, "A punch to a man's scrotum is," he would say that line, like, no, it's unforgivable. Unforgivable. "A punch to a man's scrotum is unforgivable." And he's, and Izuku's just, Can you even hear that? Could you all hear that? I didn't even, I knew my voice could do that. I just didn't expect it. I really hope you could hear that. It's just like a squeak. I never knew I could just it did that on like by itself, like the off and on thing. That was awesome. Never knew that. But yeah, once again, I'm sorry about background noise. Um, just want to make that very apparent. Either way, even though, well, they would make it there. They would get to rest the rest of the day, tour around the place, get showed the bath area, which they wouldn't get to use that day. But for the rest of like the training period, they would be able to whenever they wanted. Um, Izuku, once he heard there was a bath, like hot spring area, he was like, I'm going there every day. Not every day, but most days. And so a week, well, not a week. The next day would come, all day training. They would have to cook for themselves, like they do in canon. And that would be the days to come. You know, the bass house incident with all the boys and the girls, Mineta trying to climb the wall, um, Coda pushing him off. That would happen the next day, right? But days would go on. Not every day you would see someone go to the bath, except for Izuku. He would go there a lot more times than the rest. He enjoyed the crap out of it. Um, that's how the first week would go. Training, Izuku heading to the bath area, or well, eating bath and cooking, helping cook, and then the bath area is how his day would go. Training, eat, bath area, sleep, repeat. Um, actually, that's how the next week would happen. Another week would go by about the same stuff. A even more amped up, amped, amped. I'm sorry, I can't speak. Amped up. A more rigorous training exercise would happen. Everyone training their own things. It would be a great time. Um, and then it would be Sunday night of the training, like the training camp. It would be the night of the like scary thing that they would do, like the horror house. For like when Class 1A would walk through the forest in the group of two and just walk through, right? That's what would happen. That's what they were gonna do, and that's what they would do. Except for Izuku. He went to the bathhouse. He skipped out. So one of the 1B people would sub in just to go with them. Like, hey, might as well. It would be Reiko Yanagi, who was also Shinso's girlfriend. There you go. There you have, they're partners. Um, they would be a little bit late to the thing, so they would stick around with Ragdoll for a little bit, right? Just talking. So I want to say this now: the search quirk does not get stolen in this what if. Okay, it doesn't get stolen. Reiko and Shinso would help out. Well, Ragdoll any way they could. Okay, that's how that would go. As for Izuku heading up the mountain a little bit higher to get to the hot spring bath area, getting undressed in the building, right? Towel around his waist, putting it down, just getting in. He would just float in the water, just floating, head above the water, just floating around, getting occasionally moved just by the breeze blowing into the water, or just the breeze blowing him around. Nothing really else. Eventually falling asleep in that moment, well, or nearly dozing off, but not fully dozing off. He would hear just splashes and then smell smoke. Not splashes, like someone getting into the water. He honestly just expected, like, oh, it's probably just Shoji or someone, Shinso, someone on that, like, just one of the quieter persons. Then the smell of smoke well, would enter his nose. He would open his eyes, seeing the smoke rise in the light of the moon. He would say, or what's happening? He would stand up instead of floating. He would be in one of the, like, shallower areas in the bath, or in the hot spring, rather. Then he would hear a voice. Whoa, so you are alive. Good to know. He would quickly turn around to see a black-haired, or actually, he wouldn't be able to see it. No, he would. It would be a full moon, so it'd kind of be the light from it would be able to. You would be able to see it. A black-haired, um, stapled, long black hair, staple feature. Well, staples across their face, purple burns. Well, burns across a large part of their body. Fully nude, unclothed. You get my point. Him noticing it would be a female would just quickly turn around, or no, yeah, he would quickly turn around, just still, he's clearly blushing. It's not a, he did just see a woman nude, so it's kind of understandable, right? I don't know. I don't know why I said understandable. He would just quickly turn around, clearly flustered. He would say, eyes like covered still, um, who are you? Oh, you're you're adorable, man. She would stand up. He could hear the water move. Is she walking towards me? Is what he would be thinking. And then his thoughts would become true. He would feel her arms wrap around him, her uh, upper chest, well, chest area, her pecs. I'm not gonna. If you want to skip this part because this isn't your style, go ahead. Okay. I'm just doing this because I feel like I want to have be okay. Either way, her arms wrapping around him and her pressing up against him. Izuku would say, "Hey, what? Hold on. What are you doing? Oh, calm down. Just calm down." She would whisper, not really whisper, but in a lower tone, she would say, well, what she just said. I do have a question for you, though. What's your name? Um, Izuku Aizawa. Um, oh, that's cool. Not the one we're looking for, but you're a whole entire different meal than that. What do you mean looking for? Oh, it doesn't matter. Don't worry your adorable little head. Him still being shocked in the moment because this is his like most intimate like thing he's ever done with a woman, right? Or anyone to be that fact. He's never had this type of like moment before. So he's clearly going to be just nervous and just shooketh. He's nervous, sorry, shocked and just confused. Their eyes would meet only for a little bit, um, as she would grab him by the chin and turn his face over to hers, as she would say, "Man, even your face. I only got a glimpse of it, but now that it's shining." Taking her tongue and licking up his face. This would even turn him on, like, not turn on. I did not mean to say that, but I mean, technically, yes. But more than, like, this would halfway creep him out, but also, like, he's still flustered. He still does find this woman attractive, right? Man, even your body. Uh, oh, I should introduce myself. Yes, yes, yes. My name's Dobby. You see, this bath just looked so comfortable after my doings in the forest. Izuku would finally break through her like grasp as he would try to like rush through the shallower water to get to the edge, but she would be quicker. Just he would try to turn around, just like use his quirk, but already she would be jumping through the water, dog. Trying to push her away with his gravity quirk. Gravity, very creative name. It just has an I at the end instead of a Y. Yeah. Either way, her grabbing onto him already, which would make him crash into the rocks, just that would be on the edge of this side. Not like spiky like rocks, just rocks, which this wouldn't feel good, but there would similarly be like a sea like thing, a flatter rock with this bigger one, not bigger, but you get my point. There would kind of be like a seat that would like be human like made, just corp made, right? Him being pushed onto there, her sitting on his lap. You know, I like this better. And then those two, well, her lips would meet his, and wow, Izuku was semi under control, like a in a shocked way, as I wouldn't really call it making out. I would mostly call it her kissing him. Just fully, just like a makeout session. But then things would get more heated, and I'm not going to go into that, okay? That will get me demonetized, even more than I already might be. Um, right. Things would happen between them. Now, given they would both be adults, okay, so, but not really consensual. Not really consensual, huh? Huh. Hmm. A little confusing. Not really. We all know what happened, okay? So things would happen between them, as then Dobby would say, "Oh, that was nice. Very nice." As she would just stand up, step out, leaving him there, just in this like pleasure, confused, shocked, like what his way his brain is. He would be there for a couple minutes, just blankly staring, his mind racing with thoughts. He was confused. But eventually, his mind would come to, and he would shake his head like, wait, I gotta know. I gotta. He's more confused than anything. Excuse me. He would get out the bath, rush over, grab his towel, wrap it around his waist, just in case one of his friends is coming to look for him. Doesn't know. Putting that on, heading into the actual like bathhouse where people would change and things like that. Finding his stuff, putting on his undergarments, underwear, socks. Well, not yeah, socks, shoes, pants. Well, not no. He would put his pants. Well, socks, then pants, shoes, shirt. Actually, probably shoes last, honestly. Then shirt, jacket. Once he would try to put his left arm into his sleeve, he would feel something, a piece of paper within the sleeve. Pulling it back out, opening it up, a bunch of numbers. Him knowing this would be a phone number, most likely from this woman named Dobby or something. He would quickly grab his phone that he brought with him, just going into the phone, contacts, putting it in here as dot dot dot, and then wrinkling up the piece of paper, putting it somewhere in a pocket, bringing his phone, whatever else he brought, and then running down the mountain. Leaving the tower there, that's where they would go. Just rushing down. Still very confused, questioning if that was even real. Um, right. Still very much questioning, like probably everyone would be. Um, or I don't know. Why did I say that? I don't know. But still questioning this and just trying to get it out of his head for a little bit and then just rushing down. Eventually making it back to the main place. Seeing a fight just happened. He's not entirely sure. But Vlad King and Aizawa would be both outside panting, not panting, just breathing heavier. Like they just fought. Aizawa would see Izuku rush down, and Aizawa would say, "Where have you been?" Up at the bath. Okay. And then Shinso, Reiko, and Ragdoll would come out with the other two wild pussycats out of the forest, up, right? Them hearing explosions and things more up the mountain, and Mandalay would say, not Ragdoll, uh, Coda. Aizawa would say, I'll go. Vlad, stay here. Izuku, don't. And there he goes. Him just going in a direction, right? Not towards the explosions, mostly because he knew his dad was on the way there. And plus, yeah, that's a word. And plus, he believes in Bakugo. He knows how strong he is. They've already fought multiple times. Not multiple, but the one time they fought. And even though Izuku was injured at the not entrance, at the festival, he knew he could hold trust in Bakugo. Now, given not that much trust, but trust in beating a man or holding him off, whoever it is, until Aizawa could get there. He would head off in the way. Well, after floating up, he would head into the way that he would see things happening. Um, Eventually making it there to see a group of people. What is that bee doing? Can I not figure out how to get back in? Oh, no, there it is. Okay. Very confusing. But either way, he would. That thing's very annoying. But either way, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Even though, well, Izuku would be heading into this way for multiple reasons. To help out there and see if he could meet anyone, really. Or see her again. Right. That's what his goal would be. Like, maybe they end up here. He knows that they're looking for someone. And he would have two guesses on who that would be. The two students with monstrous potential and monstrous quirks. Katsuki Bakugo and Fumikage Tokoyami. He would find out very quickly. Not very quickly, but soon enough he would find out the truth. As he would land, seeing a group of students, like nearing the Incannon area. Oh god, excuse me, that was gross. Shoji, Tsuyu, Oraka, um, Shoto, the 1B people, like the two 1B students that got knocked out from the gas, Tokugami too. Him making it there, he would say, "What was that thing?" Um, what that? That's not his voice. What was that thing? Oh, that was Tokoyami. What? What? Oh, you see, he went monster mode after, what was it, Shoji? After I got attacked by, I believe the same person who attacked, uh, Uraka and Tsuyu, right? Oh my god. Leave me alone. Go back outside. Bye. I only like one of y'all, and that's Wubby. Two Wasp, well, a Wasp lives in my recording place, and he hasn't done anything to me. So yeah, I gave him a name, and I'm gonna hope that he doesn't do anything to me. If he does, I'm gonna get a can of bee spray. Um, yeah, as he would make it there, things would be explained to him, and they would keep on heading down the path. I don't get why they wouldn't just turn around, mostly because probably Toga. Um, they would go down that way. Izuku staying silent about his previous interaction with the other villain, right? But he would still continue down the path with them, and that's what they would do. But eventually, they would come to a complete stop when they would meet a man by Mr. Compress, who snuck over them, leaped over them and captured Tokoyami, and then fighting would commence. Um, Shoto would start with that massive iceberg, like heaven piercing ice wall, just boom, straight up. Mr. Compress would go up with it, the whole entire trick thing he would do with getting the two marbles, right? Being bada boom. Izuku, well, it would be a fight where eventually they would come to defeat Mr. Compress. Get him down, just there, being bada boom. Him seeing that he will be defeated and probably captured, he would say, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. If you watch WWE, you might know that. Javon Evans. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, okay, hold on. Hold on. I don't have to go to jail. Okay, I don't gotta be captured. You won't have your friend back. Both of them. You know that Boom Boom kid, Explosion kid? Yeah, you can have them. I just don't want to go to jail. Uh, Here you go. Throwing the two marbles, the two large ice pieces would just fly out of them, coming at them, but Izuku would just say, no way. And then they would just just create just holes in the ground, just collateral, just colliding with the ground, denting into it. Oh, you're that kid. Hmm. Yeah, I was hoping not to fight you, personally. But here I am. And then the other villains would arrive. Portals would open. Spinner, Magni? I don't know how to say her name. Uh, Toga would was twice there. If he was, he would have to make the clone. So probably yeah, but he got like teleported away. Dobby, Mr. Compress, Spinner, Magni. How do you say your name? Uh, the villains that wouldn't been captured. Well, the captured ones would be Muscular, Moonfish, and Mustard, and then the rest would be there. So yeah, Izuku immediately recognizing that woman, the one in the middle being Dobby. Him immediately like getting flustered, like he would be blushing as she would say, "Oh, it's you again. Hi." Oh, I can see I made a good impression. Every hero student would be looking at him like, "Did you meet her? Do you know her? How do you know her?" It doesn't matter. Oh, our time with each other didn't matter, huh? No, no, that's not what. Stop flipping my words around. It does matter, but not right now at the moment. Him being like frustrated but also flustered, it would be. She would say, "Oh, oh, it's adorable." This is why I wanted him. But no, we got the two angry ones. Either way, well, bye. And then gravity would press down on everyone. Just boom. Hey, Izuku, you got us into it too. Shut up. I'm not dealing with it now. I will be fine. Who would even complain about it? Probably the 1B kid. Um, Midoriya? No, Midoriya. I saw. You could just. You could get out of the circle then. Him walking up closer and closer to Mr. Compress and Dobby. Well, Dobby would have the two marbles, grabbing him out of her hand. Well, one and then trying to do the other, but then she would just shove it between her like breast, and she would say, "Are you gonna grab him?" Come on. You can do it. Him being all red in the face. Him then crouching down, looking at her in the face. Aw, you're like a puppy. He would look away and then just grab it. Now, she would say, and then as they would release, only one of them was a student. The other was a pair of cuffs that instantly locked him in, like locked on him and also Tokoyami. Just both of them would be cuffed. Tokoyami would just fall down and Izuku would be like, "What the crap? What?" And then Dabi would say, as she would raise her hand, trying like kind of halfway forcing it, just with all her might, as she would say, "Well, we still got one. I still do want you though." But I guess this is a goodbye for now. And in such a quick moment, his vision would go white. But that was only because he chose to protect Tokoyami and use a gravity field pushing upwards to halfway and to cover Tokoyami with his body instead of just him jumping out of the way and leaving Tokoyami there. But Tokoyami would be singed, but not fully burnt like Izuku would be. His back, like his jacket, would be just basically, like the back part would be basically gone. Um, and then the back of his like pants would also be just gone. But Todoroki would get to him of them to cool them both down, getting the fire just down. So they would be semi. I mean, still they'd probably still have burns, but not as bad as they would be. Um, as you all know, the heroes would go save Bakugo. All Might would do his final fight against All for One. Well, not final fight, but you get my point. And yeah, sorry for this like rushed half of it. The rushed half of the video. I'm trying to keep this under an hour to the best of my capabilities. I only got 6 minutes. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching. Hope to see you all back next week. I gotta find a video, a music, a song to use this for the next part. Not next part, but the part after that. Next week will be something else. But yeah, I hope to see you all there. Hope you enjoyed the video. And I hope to see you all next time. Roll the dice. Goodbye.